help from foreign countries. Outrage and alarm as President Trump publicly calls on another foreign country to investigate Joe Biden.
China should start an investigation into the Bidens.
This as he faces an impeachment inquiry for doing the exact same thing in that private phone call with Ukraine. And now the newly released text message overnight revealing U.S. diplomats pushed to have Ukraine investigate Biden and his son while U.S. military aid was suspended. One called the whole plan crazy.
Historic heat. Millions facing record temperatures this morning. The South gets hit with its hottest October temperatures ever. Winter cool down is on the way.
College crackdown. The most sweeping ban on Greek activity ever. The university and the hazing allegations that sparked it all.
The $12 million lawsuit. Robert De Niro sued by his former assistant, accusing him of harassment and gender discrimination. The voicemail now released.
How dare you? You're about to be fired. You're history.
What the Hollywood legend is saying this morning.
ABC News exclusive. The brother of Botham Jean, whose hug with the woman who killed his brother stunned the courtroom, now live on GMA in his first interview. And also exclusive, what two of the jurors are revealing to ABC, how they decided on that 10-year sentence, only on GMA this morning.
And a chip off the old block. Braves legend Chipper Jones and the play in the stands that has fans begging for a comeback.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
Chipper Jones still got it.
He sure does.
All right, good morning, America. It's great to have you all with us on this Friday morning, and a busy Friday morning it is. We have a lot of news to get to.
We certainly do. First, of course, that impeachment showdown with new developments coming in at a breakneck pace. President Trump seeming to dare the House to impeach him by openly calling now on China to investigate the Bidens. Democrats and legal experts both calling it a brand new impeachable offense.
Brazen, in-your-face move. And late last night on Capitol Hill, the release of text messages from U.S. diplomats discussing how to get Ukraine to do the president's bidding on investigation. This all unfolding as another key witness set to testify today. Our senior congressional correspondent Mary Bruce starts us off on Capitol Hill. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, George. Well, the first eyewitness to testify in this impeachment inquiry has now handed over explosive text messages. They reveal detailed conversations and show that there was an understanding that the Ukrainians would not get a meeting with President Trump unless they agreed to Trump's demand to investigate his rivals. Overnight, new text messages revealed, showing senior State Department officials using a potential summit between President Trump and the Ukrainian leader as leverage to get Ukraine to investigate Trump's political rivals. The former envoy to Ukraine, Kurt Volker, writing to an aide to Ukrainian President Zelensky. Good lunch, thanks. Heard from White House, assuming President Z convinces Trump he will investigate, quote, get to the bottom of what happened in 2016, we will nail down date for visit to Washington. A reference to Trump's request that Ukraine investigate a debunked theory that Ukraine, not Russia, meddled in the 2016 election. That message sent just hours before the phone call between Trump and the Ukrainian leader that sparked this impeachment inquiry. But 2 weeks later, with no action taken, the U.S. ambassador to the EU, Gordon Sondland, implies Ukraine must announce an investigation before they agree on a date to meet. Writing, I think the president really wants the deliverable. The text messages appear to show the U.S. officials even drafted a statement for the Ukrainians to announce their investigation into political processes of the United States with a specific link to Joe Biden's son. That statement is never read, though. Then in early September, messages seemed to show the State Department officials debating whether Trump was withholding nearly $400 million in military aid to pressure Ukraine for Trump's own political benefit. The top American diplomat in Ukraine, Bill Taylor, writing, I think it's crazy to withhold security assistance for help with a political campaign. Sondland responds, I believe you are incorrect about President Trump's intentions. The president has been crystal clear, no quid pro quos of any kind. But Sondland, who contributed over $1 million to Trump's inaugural committee before being nominated to the job, adds, I suggest we stop the back and forth by text. Democrats say this is evidence Trump abused his power.
Well, it's deeply concerning.
But Republicans say the messages are being taken out of context.
Ambassador Volker has been very impressive and, as I said, has said nothing that nothing that coincides with what the Democrats are saying with their whole impeachment narrative.
Now, George, just moments ago, another breaking twist in all of this. Ukraine's prosecutor general, who was handpicked by Ukraine's president, has just announced that he is reopening old investigations into the oil and gas company linked to Biden's son. Now, it is unclear if they plan to look at Biden at all. And previously, they have said there's no evidence that Biden's son did anything wrong. But, George, the timing of all of this is pretty remarkable.
Sure is. And the Ukrainian president told President Trump he was 100% my guy. Meantime, Mary, big new hearing on Capitol Hill this morning as well. The inspector general who reviewed that whistleblower complaint.
Yeah, and George, lawmakers are going to press him on how and why he was able to determine that the whistleblower's complaint was, quote, credible and of urgent concern. And they will likely want to know who he spoke with inside the Trump administration in order to draw that conclusion. George.
Another big day on Capitol Hill. Mary Bruce, thanks very much, Cecilia.
Okay, George, those text messages coming in the wake of that stunning moment at the White House. President Trump publicly calling another foreign government to investigate his political rival Joe Biden, this time China. And here's why this is so remarkable. Federal law clearly says it is illegal to solicit, accept, or receive anything of value from a foreign national in connection with an election. Our chief White House correspondent, Jonathan Karl, has this part of the story. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Cecilia. President Trump is so insistent that he did nothing wrong that he did it again, calling on yet another foreign country to investigate a political rival, committing yet another likely impeachable act, but this time doing it before the cameras. This time you didn't need a secret transcript of a private phone call. The president did it out in the open for the world to see.
China should start an investigation into the Bidens, because what happened in China is just about as bad as what happened with Ukraine.
He even suggested he might directly ask the president of China for help.
I haven't, but it's certainly something we can start thinking about.
This comes just ahead of trade talks with the Chinese scheduled in Washington for next week.
I have a lot of options on China, but if they don't do what we want, we have tremendous power.
The president's words this time are especially remarkable because he is suggesting a foreign government investigate his political rival at the very moment he is facing impeachment proceedings for doing just that, asking Ukraine to investigate the Bidens. It's an echo from this infamous moment from the 2016 campaign.
Russia, if you're listening, I hope you're able to find the 30,000 emails that are missing.
Back then, Trump aides insisted he was joking. They aren't saying that now. Democrats say the president's latest comments may amount to another impeachable offense.
It's wrong for a president of the United States to seek help from a foreign power in a presidential election. That's not okay.
I think his actions today create another article of impeachment.
And Republicans aren't exactly running out to defend him on this one.
I don't want to comment on something that I haven't seen.
Would you ever ask China to look into somebody running against you for your congressional seat?
You're asking me a hypothetical that I'd rather not get into because I don't know if I'd ever be in that situation.
And if there were any doubt that the call to investigate Biden were part of a political strategy, consider this. The Trump campaign plans nearly $1 million worth of commercials to air this weekend attacking Biden over his son Hunter's dealings in Ukraine. And George, those ads will air in all of the key Democratic early primary states, including New Hampshire, South Carolina, and Iowa.
Even though they contain charges that are inaccurate and false. Okay, John Karl, thanks very much. Let's bring in our chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams, for more on this. And it's hard to wrap your arms around all this. But as Cecilia said in the intro to John Karl, clearly illegal to solicit any foreign help in an election. But beyond the legality, it's kind of a classic impeachable offense, inviting foreign interference, one contemplated by the framers.
Right. And we're not just talking about requesting some sort of aid from a country. We're talking about China. This comes on the heels of the president congratulating China on the 70th anniversary of communism. And this is a country where you're in the middle of trade talks, right? The allegation in Ukraine is held up funds in exchange for promises about investigation of Biden. Now they're involved in trade talks with China. And again, it makes you have to ask the question, is this connected in some way, shape, or form to any of the negotiations? But when you take a step back and you say, the president of the United States is requesting China and Ukraine to investigate the former vice president of the United States right? Put aside the politics for a minute. The former vice president of the United States, right? He's asking China and Ukraine to investigate him, not based on something where the president is saying, here's the evidence we have. He's saying, please find me the evidence. Please help me find something here that I can potentially use. Because the problem right now, and let's bring it back to the Bidens for a second, is there is no evidence of Joe Biden engaging in wrongdoing in Ukraine or in China. You can talk about whether Hunter Biden should have been on the board or shouldn't have been on the board, et cetera. That's a separate question from do they have evidence against Joe Biden?
And a separate question from is it just on its face an abuse of presidential power to invite foreign interference in our elections?
Of course. I mean, look, this is exactly what they seem to be saying wasn't true about what the whistleblower was saying at first, right? There was distance from the whistleblower. Now the president is effectively confirming what the whistleblower said. You don't even need the whistleblower once you've got these texts and you've got this statement. You've got what the whistleblower was alleging.
Dan Abrams, thanks very much. Michael?
All right, George, thank you. Now the latest on Senator Bernie Sanders. We're hearing from his wife this morning as the presidential candidate recovers from a heart procedure in the hospital. Our senior Washington correspondent, Terry Moran, has the details. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, Michael. Bernie Sanders is on the mend in Las Vegas. After that heart surgery earlier this week, doctors inserting 2 stents to unblock an artery. But already, his wife Jane says, he's raring to go.
He's doing great. It's exciting that he's going to be out of here tomorrow or the next day.
This morning, Bernie Sanders' wife, Jane Sanders, is speaking out about the presidential hopeful's health.
I mean, he looks more energetic than he has been.
Standing in front of the Las Vegas hospital where Sanders is being treated for a blocked artery, she says he's doing better, but she wouldn't comment on whether the 78-year-old senator suffered a heart attack.
Had a blockage and put in one artery, and they put in 2 stents. It's very common procedure.
Sanders was taken to a hospital on Tuesday night after a closed-door campaign event in Las Vegas. He was complaining of chest pains. You can see him here at the event asking for assistance from an aide.
Ari, can you do me a favor? Where's Ari? Give me a chair up here for a moment. I'm going to sit down here. It's been a long day here.
But now Sanders' wife says he's on the mend and he'll be back to his intense schedule sooner rather than later. As for his campaign, a potential positive sign, he's resuming a $1.3 million advertising push in Iowa, which had been abruptly canceled on the day Sanders was hospitalized.
In this moment, we need a fighter.
So now the question for voters is, can Bernie Sanders do this job? He's determined to show that he can. He has a loyal base of support. He'll need more than that. He plans on attending that October 15th debate. And as he says, he's a fighter. Cecilia?
Okay, Terry, thanks so much. Now to that historic record heat in the South, a flash flooding threat this morning. Ginger, of course, tracking the very latest. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Cecilia. You know, Raleigh, North Carolina hit 100 degrees yesterday. You say, well, that's Raleigh. They do that, right? No, that is the latest they've ever hit 100 degrees. The last record was actually September 10th, so almost a month later. They are starting to feel the front, though, but all that heat is still squeezed. My friends from New Orleans to Columbus, Georgia to Columbia, all will feel above 100. Not only is that high-pressure system responsible for the heat, but it's ushering in Gulf moisture and a flood threat to the state of New Mexico, and that's the one we want to focus on today. Bring it right up out of the floor. The Sacramento Mountains, the Manzano Mountains are all going to play a little part in this. So you've got that moisture coming in at the middle levels or even a little bit lower in the atmosphere. It rolls up and we get a little closer into the Manzano Mountains, for example, just south and east of Albuquerque, and you can see what happens. The moisture rises on the topography. It lifts, evaporates, and cools, and you can actually enhance those thunderstorms. So you could see this morning up to 3 inches of rain. Even Albuquerque has a small stream advisory in effect. So that will all end, and then we'll get more rain this weekend, George.
Oh, boy. Okay, Ginger, thanks very much. Now to that major campus crackdown. Ohio University is suspending all fraternities after multiple hazing allegations and a death threat at one of the frats. ABC's Eva Pilgrim has the details.
This morning, Ohio University suspending all fraternities in a sweeping ban on Greek activity. The university citing a growing concern after it's received 7 allegations of hazing this year. 2 fraternities have already been given cease and desist letters, the university saying the others will receive their letters soon. There are 15 fraternities on campus. The school's decision coming just 11 months after the death of freshman Colin Wyatt, who was pledging at the fraternity Sigma Pi.
Okay, is he responsive?
He was, and then he's kind of laid back, started passing out.
In a wrongful death lawsuit filed by Wyatt's family, they say he was allegedly subjected to extensive hazing that included being beaten with a belt, being pelted with eggs, forced to drink a gallon of alcohol in 60 minutes, being deprived of sleep, and being provided with and forced to take drugs that included cocaine, Adderall, Xanax, and nitrous oxide. Last spring, Sigma Pi was expelled from the university for hazing.
And the university saying it hopes this suspension gives students a chance to pause, to reflect, and give the school and the chapters a chance to come up with a plan for the future. They don't want this to be something that keeps happening going forward.
Thanks, Eva. All right, thank you, Eva. And now to those alarming new numbers in the vaping crisis. The CDC now reporting more than 1,000 injuries linked to vaping in nearly every state in the country, and 19 confirmed deaths. Lindsay Davis is here with more on this. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning to you, Michael. We are now at 1,080 probable cases of lung injury across the country related to vaping, and it's believed that number will continue to rise. Just yesterday, Delaware announced the first vaping-related death in that state, but doctors all over the country are sounding the alarm. This morning, new numbers from the CDC show an explosive rise in vaping-related illness. Officials say there have been more than 1,000 probable cases of lung injury across the country in the last few months, and 19 deaths in 16 states associated with the use of vaping products.
I think it's very hard to predict without a better understanding of what may be causing the problem.
This comes as a new study claims lung injuries in those who suffer vaping-related illness resemble the same kind of damage as people exposed to harmful gases or chemicals.
The type of injury that I see in these cases could be compared to the type of injury that's seen in an industrial accident.
Some health officials caution this report is just preliminary and that no single product or substance has been connected to these illnesses. Still, the number of young people with disturbing symptoms is growing. 22-year-old Gregory Rodriguez was hospitalized for 12 days, 3 of those days in a medically induced coma.
That's when I realized that the vaping wasn't as harmless as I thought.
People should be on the lookout for these cases when they come in the ER, whether they present with symptoms of stomach flu or they present with breathing symptoms, that we should be asking every patient about their vaping history.
While we are seeing state after state pass bans on flavored e-cigarettes, the industry is now fighting back. This week, a New York court temporarily blocked that state's proposed ban on flavored products. A victory for the industry, even if it's just a temporary one, guys.
Yeah. So that, you know, dangerous every day seems to be a new story.
It increases all the time. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Lindsay.
Thank you, Lindsay. We're following a lot of other stories this morning, and coming up, Michael's exclusive interview with Botham Jean's brother. After that powerful moment in court, you see it right there. He hugged the officer who killed his brother. We're also going to talk to some of the jurors, what they're saying about how they decided on the controversial 10-year sentence. First, let's go back to Ginger.
Yes, and you guys know, Michael said, is that heat coming for us at all? No, Michael. In fact, the storm that did this in South Dakota brought some first snow to Minnesota. That's what it's going to give you. Frost advisories all the way from Hartford, Connecticut up to Big Rapids, Michigan. Your local weather coming up in 30 seconds. First, though, the weekend getaways sponsored by CarMax.
If there's going to be a sticker on your car, it has to mean something. That you got into college or crossed the finish line. Eventually.
What?
That you went someplace worth going. Or maybe you have opinions. But if it's on there, it has to mean something. So we make sure this means something. That we've done everything to make your shopping, test driving, and car buying experience the way it should be. CarMax.
Clouds clearing on this Friday. Humidity levels dropping too, so good weather at the bus stop or anything you have planned for Friday and first half of your weekend. 75 degrees by drop-off time, lots of sunshine, and again, feeling really nice and finally like fall. Your Saturday high temperature 67 degrees after a very chilly start in the 40s.
Do you know that it's National Taco Day? Well, I have news for you. Wyatt wants to tell you something else. Taco Tuesday! Oh. He loves Taco Tuesday, so Wyatt, you get to celebrate today too.
No teeth required for him.
Hey, this is amazing. With moderate to severe ulcerative colitis.
Are you okay?
Even when I was there, I never knew when my symptoms